Types of fluid.
Types of fluid or types of flow? Okay, we started the types of flows. That is, you are studying the kinematics of fluid kinematics. So, what are the different types of flows? We already studied steady, unsteady, right? So they don't, if they change with the time, then it is unsteady. If they don't change with time, if the flow properties don't change with time, then it is steady flow. Then we said uniform versus non-uniform. So u with space, okay, or u with position. If the velocity with space is constant, it is uniform. If it is changing with position, then it is non-uniform. Then we started discussion with laminar versus turbulent. Okay. What is laminar means? Laminar means flow will be smooth. Okay. Not necessarily straight. Okay. So it will be like layer by layer, smooth flow. Whereas turbulent means it will go randomly. Particles have the any scattered or random. So laminar means smooth flow. Turbulent is related to the random flow, random or scattered. You can say zigzag flow. Okay. Laminar, turbulent. Now when will be the flow laminar? Usually the flow can be laminar if viscosity is high. Do you know what is viscosity? Property?
The resistance of the liquid
Yes, to
from
flow.
moving.
Yes. I think in Arabic you say Zuluja. Okay. So, for example, if you have a like this a flow or a fluid, and if you put the drop of that, it will not try to disperse. For example, if you put the drop of water on a surface, what will happen? It will disperse in all directions, right? More. Whereas similarly, if you put same size drop of honey, for example, so it will not disperse easily. Okay, because its part, we can say its molecules are very close to each other, and because of the high viscosity. Viscosity means they will adhere to it, and molecules are attracted to each other, and that's why they don't separate easily, don't go apart easily. So if you have high viscosity, then chances are there that the flow will be uniform. Okay, like the glue you know, you use adhesive, glue, etc. They all are having high viscosity. So if there is a flow of high viscous flow, then it is laminar. That's why the laminar flow is also called as viscous flow, whereas turbulent flow is also called as inviscous. Viscous means laminar because it has high viscosity. Okay. Inviscous means turbulent. Are you understanding this? Okay. If the viscosity is less, then the particles or the molecules can easily go away from each other. They don't have that much hard bonding, so they can separate. Like if you use water at high speed, then it is easily turbulent, right? Okay. Like the airflow, wind flowing in the atmosphere, is it laminar or turbulent?
Turbulent.
Turbulent. Why it is a turbulent? Because it has no fixed direction, right? Okay, it can go in any direction, and like it's going up, down, side by side, right? Front, back, any direction. So it's kind of turbulent. Also, the viscosity of the air is very low. The viscosity of the gases is very low. So we have the laminar flow or turbulent flow. So one point is that if the flow has the fluid has high viscosity, then the chances are that it will be if low velocity, low high viscosity, so laminar flow, low viscosity, turbulent flow. Now, what is the other thing that can help us to understand the laminar or turbulent? The second parameter is velocity. Okay, the second parameter is velocity. If viscosity is high, then laminar. If viscosity is low, then it is turbulent. Whereas velocity is low, then what will happen? The flow will become more laminar. If velocity is high, then flow will become high velocity, usually turbulent. See, for example, if water has low viscosity, if it is coming at low speed, then you see that you can easily see the cylindrical shape of water coming in it, right? Very smooth at low velocity. But you increase the velocity of the flow, then what will happen? You see that it's not cylindrical, it is like diverging shape, and the particles are going in any directions. So high velocity is associated with the turbulent. Okay, so if you have low viscosity and high velocity, then it will be turbulent. If you have high viscosity and low velocity, then it is laminar. Now, how to decide whether a flow is laminar or turbulent? So for that, we have a formula. You can take the screenshot if you want for your reference. So if you have high viscosity, then what is the chance of the flow? Laminar or turbulent?
Laminar.
Laminar.
High velocity?
Turbulence.
Turbulence. Okay. So there is a non-dimensional number. We will study this later again in detail. This is made by Reynolds. So that's why it is called as Reynolds number. And it is equal to rho V D by mu. Okay. Or V D by nu. This is Reynolds number. What is rho? Density. V is velocity. D is for pipes, it is diameter. Actually, it is called as the characteristic dimensions. We will see later on. As of now, you just say it is diameter of the pipe. And mu is, you studied this in physics, mu is dynamic viscosity. Or nu, which is mu by rho, is kinematic viscosity. There are two types of viscosities. Dynamic viscosities, this is for the liquids. This will be in liquids, dominant in liquids. This is for the gases. This will be gases, more common in the gases. You might have studied cohesion and adhesion. So based on that, this is mu and nu. And so what is nu equals to? Can you see from this? What is nu equals to? Mu over rho. Okay. Now, what you do for a problem, you calculate the Reynolds number. Okay. Especially for pipe problems. Pipe means, say for example, you have a pipe and flow is there. So this is the diameter. Okay. So if velocity is given and you know the properties of the fluid, you calculate the Reynolds number. If this Reynolds number is less than 2000, then the flow is laminar. See this. Viscosity is in the denominator, right? So what will happen if the viscosity is high? Reynolds number will be smaller, right? Viscosity is high. It is in denominator, right? So if viscosity is high, Reynolds number will be less. That means more chances of flow to be laminar. Am I right? Here we have velocity in the numerator. If velocity is low, then what will happen? If velocity is low, Reynolds number will be low. The flow will be laminar. Is that clear? If for pipe problems, if Reynolds number is less than 2000 value, then it is laminar. If it is more than 4000, then it is turbulent. If it comes in between the two, it can be either laminar or can be turbulent. It is called as transition flow or transitional flow. If it is between 2000 and 4000. Is this clear? Please reply to me. Don't keep silent. Otherwise, this time is very bad time. Everybody sleeps. Khalila. Okay. So I want you to be active. There are 22 students, 11 absent. Okay. Most of you have not sent me the classwork already. Okay. Anyways, now I hope you have understood the difference between the laminar and turbulent flow. So laminar will have usually high viscous, low velocity flow, whereas turbulent, low viscous, high velocity flow. Okay. Okay, I will take just one example. This is not in the book. Say diameter is say 0.5 meters. Okay, velocity is say 100 meter per second. It's water. Okay, then the value of
Dr.
viscosity.
Muhammad,
Yes.
sorry, but the screen on our left is not real. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes, now is okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Say dynamic viscosity is 0.1. Okay. What is the unit of dynamic viscosity? Do you remember? It is Newton second per meter. Okay. Anyways, now say for example, this is given to you. Can you calculate the Reynolds number and tell me whether this flow is laminar or turbulent?
Repeat the question, please.
It's turbulent.
This is the diameter, the dimensions given. Okay. Can you find the Reynolds number and check whether this flow is laminar or turbulent? Just 1 minute.
It's 50,000.
It's coming.
Turbulent, doctor.
Okay, let me check the dynamic viscosity of water. It is 8.9 into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay, this dynamic viscosity for water is 8.9 into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay. And unit is Newton second per meter square. Now it will be how much? Reynolds number? It's very big number.
56.17 multiplied by 10 to the power 6.
6,
Yes.
right? So it is very high compared to the 4,000, right? So it is turbulent flow. Is this clear?
Yes.
If you reduce the velocity, say 1 meter per second, so it will decrease by 100 times. Still it is more than 4,000, so it will remain turbulent. You understood this example, everybody?
Yes, it's clear.
Now we'll go to the next type of flow. Please note down everything because these things are important. Then we have compressible versus incompressible. Okay, compressible means it has ability to get compressed. Okay, or able to be compressed. So do you know which fluids can be get compressed?
Gases.
Gases.
Yes.
Yes. Which has low density, you can compress it, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So most of the gases, or say gases, are compressible fluid, whereas liquids are incompressible fluid. Okay. So if the density is constant, then it is called as
Incompressible.
incompressible. If density is not constant, it can change with pressure and temperature easily. Okay, then it is
Compressible.
compressible. Okay. So liquids are incompressible because already the molecules are very, very close to each other. You cannot bring much closer to them again. Okay. So we don't, that's why we have the compressible. Air is a compressible. So, but still we need to understand what is compressible and incompressible flow. Okay. It's a big branch. Then we have rotational versus irrotational. If a particle is moving as well as turning about its own axis, then it is called as rotational flow. Okay, it is moving and while moving, it is rotating about its own axis. Then it is called as rotational flow. Whereas irrotational means it is going without rotating, it is moving in a particular direction. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so rotational and irrotational. So if you have a flow through pipe of any shape, any size, or flow of any fluid, the flow can be steady or unsteady. It can be uniform or non-uniform. It can be laminar, incompressible, okay, or it can be turbulent, compressible. It can be unsteady, uniform, turbulent, compressible, and irrotational as well. So at a time, it will have one of these 5.
So, doctor, it can be, it can be mixed by these types.
Yes, it can. You see, it can be unsteady, non-uniform, turbulent, incompressible, irrotational at same time.
Oh, okay. And
Okay.
how can I analyze that?
I told you, right, how to do this. See, if it is rotating, you need to calculate some parameters. And if you confirm that if it is rotating while moving, then it is rotational. Then if it is, say, for example, this is rotational. And it is like this. So what do you think? Is it laminar or turbulent?
Laminar, doctor.
Laminar. With it is rotational or irrotational?
Rotational.
Okay. Say for example, speed is here is 120 meter per second, and here also 120 meter per second. Is it uniform, non-uniform?
Uniform. Ah, okay. Now I understand.
Okay. And
Yes,
say
yes, okay.
it is 130 for t is equal to 10 seconds, and after say 10 seconds, it is 130. So what type of flow it is? Yes.
Steady.
No, this one. This is steady.
Steady.
Doctor. Yes.
It is unsteady because with time it is changing 120 to 130.
Oh, okay.
With space it is not changing. So
Yes,
it is
yes,
uniform.
right. Yes, right.
With space it is not changing. So it is uniform. But with the time
Changing
it
with
is
time.
changing. So
Yeah.
it is unsteady. Okay. Whether it is compressible or incompressible. So if the density is constant, you can say easily that it is incompressible. If the density is also changing, then it will become compressible. So the flow can have any type. Is this clear?
Yes, doctor, it's clear.
So if I ask about any type, you should be able to analyze and tell whether it is laminar or turbulent. Okay, compressible, incompressible, rotational. Okay. Now we will define mass flow rate. Okay, mass flow rate means it is the mass flowing with a particular rate. Okay, for example, if the flow is coming, if the mass is, see now we have a fixed reference area, right? Do you remember Lagrangian and Lagrangian, and what is the second approach? Yes, we studied in the morning.
If
You don't
it's go all in, straight line.
Okay, so one is the Lagrangian approach, second is the Eulerian or Eulerian approach. Okay, in what I said in Lagrangian approach, we track particle, right? Same particle at what path it is following. You are taking the say continuous images of that. So based on that you can get the continuous video. Okay, so it is like you are following the particle. Now in the second, you are following a place. Say for example, one particle is coming and going in. Second particle is coming from other place and coming going. So you are fixing a position. Okay, fixing a area or fixing a volume. That is called as control volume. Say for example, you are, so this is called as CV, control volume. You are focusing, you are not focusing on the flow, but in an area, how the flow is entering and how it is leaving. You are focusing in that area. So that is approach is called as Eulerian approach. In fluid mechanics, okay, or fluid dynamics, we prefer the Eulerian approach. Both are common. You will see when you will study. Okay, both are common, but Eulerian is preferred. Why it is preferred? Because we cannot track all places. Okay, we can fix one camera and see what is coming in and going out, like CCTV camera. Okay, it is monitoring what, how many cars are coming and going, what they are doing in that particular area, right? So it is like that. Eulerian approach is like CCTV. You can remember CV from there as well, CCTV. Okay, is that clear? This is like putting some chip in the car and tracking the car, how it is, where it is going, is it going outside Jeddah, etc. Okay, where you are fixing a particular area and tracking what is coming in, what is going out. Okay. Both are common. Is this clear? Two approaches.
Yes, doctor, is clear.
Yes.
So remember their names as well. When I'm asking, you are not telling their names. So, so for example, if 1 kilogram is coming, okay, say for example, the total duration I'm studying is say 1 minute or 1 second. So 1 kilogram is coming in and 1 kilogram is going out. So what is the flow rate? Mass flow rate will be equal to, so dm divided by dt. What is m dot? Dm divided by dt. And so how much is the change in mass, or what is the total mass? It is 1 kilogram. For how much duration it is coming? It is coming for say 1 minute or 1 second, like that. Okay, if it is say 10 kilogram, so mass is conserved. Okay, remember that mass will not change when it is entering, then the leaving mass will be same unless it is stored. But this is flow problem, so it will not go anywhere unless you have some leakages, right? For example, if you have a case of pipe, what will be total mass? Say M1. Now it will be divided into say M2 and M3. So what is M1 equals to?
M2 plus M3.
M2 plus M3, right? Because it's not going anywhere. If you are given some passage, then only it will. Okay. So this is called as the mass conservation. So dm by dt is the means the total mass coming in for a particular duration. Okay. In flow problems, mass flow rate is usually constant and it will not change with time. Mass is changing with time, not mass flow rate. Okay. So what is the unit of this? It is kg per second. Okay, you need to convert a minute into the second. Then you can say it is kg per second. Okay, what is mass? Yes, what is mass? Density into volume, right? What is mass equals to? Density into volume. Or what is density mass divided by volume, right? So similarly, you can say mass equal to density into volume. Okay. So you can say it is d rho into volume. Volume is, what is volume? Area into length, right? What is volume of this? Say for example, if this is a cylindrical pipe, so what is the volume of this? Area into this length, right?
Yes.
Okay. So density into volume divided by dt. Okay. If I say it is incompressible flow, then what will happen? Density will be incompressible flow
Constant.
Constant.
constant. Okay. So in rho I can take this. Okay. Area is not changing with time. Okay. This dl by dt. See, if particle is moving from here mass, so it is going to this, it is crossing this L distance in particular time. So you can say it is dl by dt. It is like speed, right? Velocity.
Yes.
It is going to this much distance in that time. So this is speed. So mass flow rate is equal to rho a into velocity. Okay. Rho a v. This is volume. Okay. But here v for velocity. So what is mass flow rate means? It is density area into velocity. Density area into velocity. So please write down this equation. Mass flow rate is equal to rho a into v. Mass is conserved quantity, means mass will not change at the inlet and outlet unless you have some more than one outlet. So if you to take the sum, then it will go. I mean, it will not go, whatever you are coming in, it will go out. It is not like it is destroyed somewhere. Okay. So even if you do something with that mass, okay, then its color, its temperature, pressure, etc. may change, but the value of mass will remain same. Okay, its density may change, its speed may change, it might be passing through a different area, but the total mass is going to remain same. That's why it is called as mass is a conserved quantity. So if I apply at 1 and 2, can I say that m dot 1 is equal to m dot 2? Whatever is the mass flow rate at 1 will be mass flow rate at 2, or m1 equals to m2. Similarly, mass flow rate is also conserved. So can I write rho 1 A1 V1 equals to rho 2 A2 V2, because m dot is rho AV, right? If I'm writing at 1, so it will be rho 1 A1 V1. If I write at 2, it is rho 2 A2 V2. Similarly, rho 3 A3 V3, like this. Okay. Now, if density is constant, then what will happen? Rho 1 will become equal to rho 2, right? When will happen this? Rho 2 equals to rho 1 when the fluid is
Constant.
constant density means which type of flow?
Steady.
Come on. Constant density. I'm saying just constant density, not constant velocity, constant. Other properties are not constant, but only density is constant. What if rho 2 is equal to rho 1?
Compressible, doctor?
Incompressible,
Yes.
not compressible.
Ah, okay.
Incompressible.
Sorry.
Compressible means it will compress, density will change. Okay, if density is same, it's not changing, then it is called as incompressible. Water is compressible or incompressible?
Compressible mean changing of density, right?
Yes, yes.
And incompressible mean the density is constant.
Yes, not changing. That's why rho 2 equals to rho 1. So
Yeah,
my
okay.
question is whether water is compressible or incompressible.
Incompressible.
Incom-
Air is compressible or incompressible?
Compressible.
Compressible. Okay. I think you are getting confused because of this ion is written here, right? Incompressible. See, what is the opposite of active?
Inactive.
Inactive, right? So similarly, the opposite of compressible is incompressible. Okay. So for incompressible, this will become A1 V1 equals to A2 V2. Why? Because rho and rho 2 rho 1 is same, so you can cancel this. Okay. So if it is incompressible, then you can easily write A1 V1 equals to A2 V2. Okay. One more thing. Now we said that m dot equals to density into area into velocity, right? Now if I compare this with this, mass is equal to density into volume. Are they looking same? Similar? M here m dot, right? Okay, density is there. Then we have this bracket, right? This is called as mass, and this is called as,
Mass flow rate.
yes. Here we have two densities. If this is volume, then what we can call this bracket into V. This is mass, so this is mass flow rate. If this is volume, then this will be called as volume flow rate. Okay, this is mass, and this is mass flow rate.
Flow rate.
So similarly, if this is volume, this is called as
Volume flow rate.
flow rate. Now, do you understand the difference between mass flow rate and volume flow rate?
Yes.
mass is equal to density into volume, and mass flow rate is equal to density into volume flow rate. Okay, if you take a rate on both sides, then we have density. If you have no rates, then it is mass, density, volume. Here mass flow rate, density, volume flow rate. Okay, so when you will do analysis, etc. in future, you will come with these terms, mass flow rate and volume flow rate. So what is the difference between the two? Mass flow rate is equal to density T times volume flow rate. Please write down this. Okay, before going ahead, let me call your name, whether you are sleeping or alive. Knife. Just say present if you are present. Knife is there. See, his mic is open and he is sleeping. Abdullah Muharrij. Abdurrahman Al Khatib. Are you present?
Yes, present.
Okay. Abdurrahman Ahmad.
Yes, Doctor. Rahman Hadil.
Ammar.
Yes, Dr. Ammar is here.
Faris.
Yes, Doctor.
Faris Andariri. Yes, Faris. Okay, we have 3 Faris. Okay, he messaged me. Okay. Then Faris Al Nakhli.
Here.
Okay. Hussein Jalal. Okay. Fawaz.
Yes, Doctor.
Muhammad Al Ghamdi. Muhammad Shami. Muhammad Tifoti.
Yes, here, Professor.
Musa Ali. Nawaf. Okay. Umar Basalama.
Nawaf here.
Okay.
Umar Basalama here.
Yes, yes. Sari Al Husami.
Yes.
Umar Hamad.
Yes, Doctor.
Umar Waqas.
Yes, Doctor.
Usama Zahrani.
Yes, Doctor.
Suleiman.
Suleiman here, Doctor.
Walid. Walid Al Harbi.
Here, I'm here, Doctor.
Riyad Zahrani. Ziyad is not there. Riyad Khalid. Sorry, Raid Khalid. Raid is there. Okay. See, there are many absent and out of people.
Excuse me, Doctor. When you call my name, there are some issues in the internet. I'm sorry.
I'm also doctor.
I am
That's I'm
Abdullah.
See, I'm not like other teachers. I want your mics to be open and you should respond me in the class.
Yes, but there are some issues in the internet, so I go for a second. Then I'm back now. So I was attended all the class.
Okay, what happens in the incompressible flow?
Doctor, I don't hear my name.
Knife
No,
or
Muhammad.
Mohammed Ghamdi, I call you.
I don't hear.
Okay. So if you are sleeping, then wake up. And now at least.
No, I don't sleep.
Come on, don't lie. I know. Okay. Yes, Abdullah Maharid, what is incompressible flow then? Or the mic is not working again? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
doctor. Yeah, constant density?
Yes. Incompressible means constant density.
Yes, or constant density, yes.
So what is m dot? M dot means mass flow rate.
Mass flow rate, yes.
And it is equal to density area into velocity. Okay. Or it is equal to rho into Q. Now what is Q? Can anyone tell me what is Q?
Volume flow rate?
Yes, exactly. It is volume flow rate. Now why Q symbol is used, that we need to think later. But what is Q now? Q equals to
AV.
area into velocity. Can I write Q1 equals to Q2?
Yes.
This is for
Yes.
incompressible.
Yeah, in case of incompressible.
Okay. Because if it is compressible, you cannot write this because density may also change. Because what is mass flow rate? It is rho into Q1, rho into Q2, right? Rho 1, Q1. Because A1, V1 is Q1, A2, V2 is Q2. If rho 2 is equal to rho 1, then only we can write Q1 equals to Q2. Am I right? Okay. Now let's solve some numericals related to this equation. What is this? A1 V1 equals to A2 V2, or rho 1 A1 V1 equals to rho 2 A2 V2. This is called as continuity equation. This is called as continuity equation. This is very famous question in the fluid mechanics. Continuity equation. Now we will solve some numericals based on continuity equation. I have shared the screenshot of the questions that are solved in the book of R.K. Bansal with you. Please go to that. We will solve our first numerical of this. Okay. Please read the question. Have you opened the question, everyone?
5.1, right?
Yes, 5.1. What is given in that question?